The first hackers appeared in the 60s and 70s, but over the last decades, hacking has become more popular and more dangerous at the same time. Hackers can be classified as either good or bad. The first ones are the black hats, who use their skills to gain access to devices such as computers, smartphones, and tablets to corrupt files, gather sensitive information, and steal valuable data and documents. On the other hand, there are ethical hackers too, sometimes known as white and blue hats, who are employed by different businesses to help them defend against outside threats. Let's meet some of them. Jonathan James, known as Comrade, was born in December '83 in Pinecrest, a small town in Miami-Dade County, in Florida, United States. His first act was to breach Miami-Dade's network of educational institutions to correct his marks at school. He was only 15 years old at that time. A year later, James broke into a DTRA server, a highly important division of the US Department of Defense and NASA's network as well, accessing hundreds of Pentagon employee profiles and obtaining thousands of top-secret emails and documents. In June 2000, James was arrested inside his home by US Department agents. He pleaded guilty and was given a 6-month sentence, but due to his age, he was released at the end of 2001. He didn't stop there though, as in 2008, he was charged with the heist of nearly 46 million debit and credit cards, with a group of 13 others, including the infamous Albert Gonzalez. US Marshals and the FBI raided his house, but they couldn't find any proof of cybercrime. During that time, James fell into a state of desperation and loneliness. Thus, on May 18, 2008, James was found dead in his bathroom, taking his own life. Julian Assange was born in July 1971 in Queensland, Australia. He lived in 30 different towns by the time he reached his mid-teens, and he never earned a degree. Living under his alias, Mendax, he joined a group of hackers called the International Submersives. From 1989 to 1991, the group breached NASA, the US Department of Defense, the Australian Federal Police, and other important global organizations. As a result, in 1994, he was charged with 31 counts of hacking-related crimes by the Australian Federal Police. He signed a plea deal. He paid a small sum, was released due to good behavior, since he contributed to anti-hacking security software and helped authorities by exposing several criminals from 93 to 99. And then comes WikiLeaks, which was created by Assange and others in Iceland in 2006. Their goal was to publish classified media from all over the world. In addition, from 2006 to 2009, they closely worked with Chelsea Manning, a US Army intelligence analyst who used to supply WikiLeaks with top-secret documents. One of them was a murder video where US soldiers would seem to fatally shoot 80 civilians in Iraq. From 2012 to 2019, Assange took refuge in the Embassy of Ecuador in London, UK, due to a large number of charges from the FBI, CIA, and other American security organizations. In 2013, Assange helped the notorious Edward Snowden escape US imprisonment because of the leaked documents he had presented to the world. On the 11th of April 2018, Assange was arrested by London's Metropolitan Police. As of today, he is still in the UK's Belmarsh prison. Kevin Mitnick was born in Van Nuys, California in August 1963. He is known as the Condor or the Most Wanted. At the age of 16, he hacked into the network of an American digital equipment corporation and copied the company's software. He was arrested for his actions and sentenced to a year in prison 9 years later. After his release, Mitnick didn't stop. and managed to humiliate two large American organizations, Pacific Bell and ARPANET. From 1988 to 1995, Mitnick was running for his life. He was hiding in Denver and North Carolina under different names. His luck ended, and in February 1995, the FBI's most wanted hacker was arrested in Raleigh, North Carolina. He served 5 years in prison, was released in 2000, and was supervised for the next 3 years. In 2003, he was asked to pay back the amount of $4.8 million to all organizations he hacked. Mitnick decided to switch sides, and by mid-2003, he established his own consulting company. Nowadays, Mitnick is a multimillionaire. He's a public speaker, author, and consultant. The Anonymous Group started in 2003 as a borrowed term used by individuals who raided websites. In 2004, members of the Anonymous Group used a new platform, the Encyclopedia Dramatica, as their home for showcasing raids, showing events, internet culture, and mass pranks. In 2008, the Anonymous Group started adopting Guy Fawkes masks during their protests and named themselves Hacktivists. 2 years later, Anonymous organized a group of servers to host an independent IRC network, the Unknown Ops. From there, they initiated Operation Avenge Assange, with attacks on PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and others. During 2011, the group was cruising as they breached the government websites of Tunisia and Uganda, Sony's PlayStation Network, Co, Industries Platform, and other homophobic organizations. In 2012, Anonymous managed to hack the US Department of Justice for taking down the Megapload website. They also hacked FBI's website, 485 Chinese government sites, and hundreds of Israeli websites in retaliation to attacks in Gaza. In 2014, Anonymous chose to avenge the police shooting of Michael Brown in Missouri, United States, by posting the officer's name on Twitter and declared sub-war on KKK, a white supremacist group. In 2015, they completed a major attack on more than 5,000 Twitter accounts, including those of ISIS members Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, the New York Times, and BBC News. During the pandemic, Anonymous hacked the United Nations website, Minnesota's government website, avenging the murder of George Floyd, and the Nigerian government's website to support the movement against police brutality. After the pandemic, they hacked the website of the Republican Party of Texas, punishing them for the abortion law that came into effect in September 2021, and released private data belonging to Epic, a domain registrar that hosts new Nazi content. During 2022 and 2023, they breached the websites of Russia's Defense Ministry, Russia Today channel, and the Central Bank of Russia in revenge for the Ukraine invasion. They also took down hundreds of Iranian websites and tens of Chinese government-controlled websites. To this day, Anonymous are still fighting for human rights, justice and equality, and have plans for expanding in every corner of the world.
Some people may not always be immune to the pressures of working in a normal job. Instead, they decide to follow a different path. A path that can be considered illegal for most of us, or preferable for others.
Never forget that life consists of two sides, light and dark.